Greetings all. Hello, my name is Claire. Hope you're treating yourselves well and of course others. This is the next big changes coming in for you, and I hope the messages are helpful. Like, subscribe, and comment if you feel inclined. You could be winning a court case or getting someone off your back or getting a variety of people off your back. Maybe people are seeing your perspective more fluently or frequently. It seems as though you might have a way of expressing yourself better, or at least holding yourself in a way that you feel better when you walk away from situations. This is the Justice card, but it was upright, so definitely coming off strong. I think life is kind of giving you some sustenance or substance to work with in some form or fashion. You're going to be enriching your environment in a way that you feel kind of like there's a give and a take. It could be with a person, but also you might just feel more inclined by life, as though you kind of have like an upper hand or like better judgment that's serving you well, for sure. That was the Ace of Coins upright. And I feel as though maybe you are kind of stealth as of lately, because I'm looking at the background and it has this gray, but also it's a cat paw. So I'm seeing that you might have a way of being like stealth. So there was this Five of Cups in reverse. You could also be finding a way of getting out of your own way, per se, like asking for help or not sitting in bad behavior or antics. I'm hearing like petulant, like maybe like there's been like a casting of stones, but also a needing to like see why things annoy you so much, maybe internalizing some stuff you've been through and figuring out that maybe it's been like wearing on you or showing a little bit in your day-to-day. Somehow maybe your psyche has just kind of been a little rattled by, I'm hearing sustenance or like longevity. I'm not really sure, but there's a sense of also these cards are very dark, so maybe you've been kind of in hiding, but in a sense of, I don't think it's been out of like hiding from someone. I think you finally are starting to, the King of Wands in reverse. I think maybe you have been a very social person, overexerting yourself or thinking that social means would get you into the forums or arenas, the hands that you desired to be in. I think that for a long time you've kind of tried to figure out how to be in the right place at the right time, or how to understand a certain business practice. There's a sense of like you trying to take the reins of something and it slipping through your fingers frequently. I think there's a need for the King of Wands in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. You could feel weighed down by friends, family, priorities, or just like a facade. It kind of seems like something you've decided to put in your life is starting to make you feel as though you are not yourself in a certain way, like you're taking on a character, or there's a mask that you were trying to figure out how to remove. I think you've been very social and trying to sustain life, like the comforts of life, or like sustainability in general. So you've made decisions out of sustainability, and I think that maybe you were feeling, because this True Love card is truly sinister. It serves almost no amorous feelings to me. So I think as though maybe there's a caught up situation. You feel feelings are heavy. You could feel as though your identity has been stolen, or you're being used in a way for your identity. There's a sense of like you look in the mirror and you're very unsatisfied locally, but it's not, I don't think that there's like a self-loathing or any sort of there could be a sense of like self-doubt, but I think that might be imposed by environment for some reason, maybe due to overexertion. Maybe you're feeling stimulated or overly worked in certain ways. I think you might have tried to pile on too much. Like you might not have a bunch of things to do, but you're overly stimulated in your mind, constantly trying to figure out the like, I'm hearing the reality of your situation. So I'm also feeling inclined to look at this book for some reason. Maybe it'll give some clarity. Okay, so maybe there's a sense of like you having to take the reins of your own life in a way that makes you feel more dignified. You could be going about your business in a shrouded way, because this page says creation comes with a cost, and I wrote that with the intention of like you're allowed to make decisions, you're allowed to create things, but you also have to weigh the cost of it. Like you're allowed to do the things that you want to do in life, but they come with a price. And if you aren't willing to pay that, I mean, obviously such obvious terms, it's almost trite, but there's a sense of like maybe you feel as though you have already been working towards something, but I don't think you are as far along as the Two of Coins in reverse. There's a need for I'm hearing a reality check, but I think it's more of like a settling of sorts. Like maybe if you are giving in, you need to maybe put away any like gossip that you could be intaking, any sort of media that might just be rage baiting. There's don't look at things that inhibit greed or jealousy, like, you know, the basics. the glutton, what is it? The 7 deadly sins. So there's a need to form your reality, take your thoughts that you are being presented with every day. Like, I know that there's probably reoccurring thoughts of things that are heavy on your mind, maybe for lack of being able to convey them properly or say them because you don't feel inclined to tell certain people, or like you don't want to go out of your way to overexpose yourself in certain ways. There is a need to the High Priestess in reverse, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and the 8 of Coins in reverse. So maybe you've gone through a period where you haven't been making so much money, and you are, because these two cards are wonderful in the color category. So I think you are looking for a way, like, I'm hearing divinity, but I think there's a sense of like you're trying to fulfill your ultimate passions in life. The High Priestess in reverse, you might have been second guessing yourself or behaving in ways that are not ideal to what you already know at this point in your life. I think you're very educated. You kind of know ways that you could get ahead, probably very confused as to how it's all going to come together, though. I think life has put you with the moon upright. I think you've kind of been cast aside in a sense of like life has put you to the side because you're in a growing process. There's a like you're getting downloads from the world that you might not be putting into action. The 10 of Wands, you might be feeling overwhelmed because you're taking in your everyday life in ways that you know is not the actuality. Like, I think you could be choosing to take things in a certain way or act a certain way when you know there's better options, or like, I don't think options are people. I think options are choices we make action wise, like behavioral options or mental options. Like we go through our heads and we choose to feel a certain way, kind of thing. And I think life has put we have maybe been consumed with the idea that we're actually there's actually a purpose on earth. Like maybe it's an overwhelmed feeling of like you might have had like been feeling very like synchronistic in life, had a lot of things that kind of spell out mysticism to you, or like you've been finding spirituality or religion or whatever. There's a sense of like you've been working on yourself and seeing results, maybe even in physical ways, but you're not seeing I'm hearing commercial, so I don't think in physical, like you're not seeing results in money or business as of right now, and that's just because of the timing. There's a sense of right now is a lack of 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this was the 8 again. So you could be 88, could be a recurring number, or 808, or maybe you make music. But you need to keep stirring your pot. But the double entendre with that would be, I think you might be like purposefully boiling and brewing, like stewing on certain things and not applying that headspace to healing, or you could just be falling back and regressing into what feels comfortable, how you've been in past ways, just a sense of like stagnancy just because of lack of seeing results. And I think that you're not so much a result-based person. Like there might be, like you might be feeling really faithful in yourself or whatever, but maybe every time you look outwards, like on social media or around you, you kind of get put out or annoyed for some reason or another. Life could kind of be taking kind of feel, and you're just like, when will it give? The strength card as I split the deck. I think the only forward motion as of right now for you would be you changing like your mental state, whether you need to dispel some like behavioral patterns that could slip through, like things that you could be like easy to snap on people. Maybe you are withholding very easily. The Judgment card in reverse, I think life is wanting to give you a win for once. Maybe you haven't seen a win in a while. I think it's wanting to kind of show you the lighter side of winning, and maybe winning, oh my gosh, maybe winning and not having to feel like you're being compared to something. I think life, the next big thing that you're going to achieve is finally having success and not comparing yourself to how far you could have been, or constantly wanting to scale the situation. I think you might find like a comfortable nature in the next phase of life. Like I think you're going to start feeling more in tune with less competitive. Like I think you kind of in your ways, you don't want to be like, I keep on always hearing like, why am I like this? Why am I like this? So I think there's a sense of like, you will be favored in dispelling any sort of rhetoric, like feeling you need to compete with people, just even silently in your head, not being able to observe your situation and feeling kind of like annoyed by it or off-put by just intaking certain things. I think you're going to gain your balance in that realm. I think you're going to gain some speed soon, very soon. Page of Swords, whatever you are feeling creative towards, I think giving in to like little creative tasks, the simple, like if you have small projects that you can do right now while you're kind of doing this like mental gymnastics, like figuring out like the mental circus that you're going through where you can't stabilize how you feel about certain situations, like if you should not take in certain medias or if you should give up certain things. I think it will become more natural over time, but right now there won't be a lot of visual change. I think it's like so many things. There's not like one ending going on in your life right now. And I think for you to properly ingest the next course of your life, it will take you kind of reassessing the Page of Swords upright. It's like it will take you reassessing how you truly feel about certain things or like how you actually act in certain situations. Naturally, it's not like, it's like without thinking, like how you would you get it, but you will feel less competitive with yourself. You'll feel less judged by others, or the weight of that kind of judgment won't feel like sickening or disheartening. I think you will start to gain like your ground is firming up, but I think it's the soil is just becoming enriched and your roots are growing outwards. So it's going to be harder to like uproot you, that kind of situation. It's really like a steadiness that's coming for you. It's I think a wholesomeness, maybe a lighter side of life. Like you'll have to worry less. So you'll start to see things change around you. Like you won't be so like go forward, headstrong, seeing the straight path forward. You'll be able to observe your surroundings and like take in like, you know, the simplistic, the pretty, the enjoyable, yummy, that kind of stuff. I think it's going to be coming. Wholesome is a good word. This is just a very bland time for you. It feels as though by the colors in the cards, and you have rich dreams and maybe have been disheartened by just lack of being able to reach out and touch it. And that's because the Three of Wands, your dreams are also offering themselves to you. It's just a matter of you want them to be sustainable, and you want to feel right when you get the things that you feel towards. So it's definitely coming for you, and just assume the position and you got this. Gotta know I love you. What it do, motherfuckers? Pile 2. Welcome. This is the next big changes in your life. I'm hearing what a glorious thing. So maybe you've just been like long awaited, feeling stagnant, or maybe just you might have been waiting for a contract to come through or a deal of some sort. I think you're going to be getting some 5, 6, 7 feeling maybe like you were stolen from. Maybe that I think you could be receiving communication from someone who might have stolen from you or backstabbed you, betrayed you in some way or form or fashion. There's a sense of like, it kind of feels a little businessy in some way, or maybe you could have made money with this person, or there was a potential of partnership, like as like a growing way. But I think that they might come back in the picture for business, or come to clarify, to tell you what happened, maybe negotiate money or a settlement of some sort. 5, 6, 7 of Cups. I think, oh my gosh, yeah, the 77 you could be seeing, or feeling as though this whole situation is like you're like letting it go to, I hear, to God or the spirits. Maybe you have been stolen from like a family member or someone that you like really super trusted. I think that you are feeling like, has it all been a lie or has it all been a facade? Maybe you are getting a truth about a situation that you kind of felt was a lie in the first place, or you felt like something was a little fishy, something is very up. There's some nonsense debacle that maybe is getting some clarity as of lately. I think that you might be seeing the true sides of some people around you, or like maybe how someone lied to keep you in their grasps, or lied to keep you, lied about stability or maybe their lifestyle. There's a sense of like someone maybe keeping you under wraps or keeping you stuck somehow. Maybe using emotional tactics. The Ten of Swords. I think you've been attacked in maybe like financial and emotional ways, maybe even like I'm hearing living, but I think you're just kind of feeling like a creature as of lately. Cannot really attest to what's right or wrong, not seeing where you could have gone better or worse, just seeing like this is the death card and it is just bizarre. So maybe you're feeling just like I'm hearing a barnacle. So maybe you're kind of feeling very stuck in a sense of like you are trying to observe your situation to the best of your ability and before you make your next move. Like I'm kind of just getting this picture of the ocean. So what a brolic place to live. It's very brutal there. So you kind of have to be on your toes and very aware. I think you're kind of seeing your way out, or trying to figure out a way to not have to be so high alert all the time. I think you're thinking more about your heart space, either being more loving or open, or you might just be having like heart palpitations, feeling very anxious, like you might have been having like some health scares as of lately, or you're figuring out what was the cause of that. Like maybe you've been eating, like I'm hearing poison, so be very aware of the things that you're ingesting and where you get them from, for sure, and who you're trusting with touching the things that you consume. But the Four of Cups, I think maybe you have felt almost backed into a corner due to isolation or feeling comfort, and then it turned into the Ten of Swords. It seems like maybe you felt like you were getting so far, and one day you were going to do an everyday task, and it kind of just hit you that I'm hearing that maybe you felt like you have put yourself in such a position where you have made things so serious or dire for some reason. Like you can't, the Three of Wands, maybe that you're being like smited by life for some reason. You could feel very unnatural as of lately. Let's see what's coming in for you though. I think your natural self is someone that very much like gets ahead when they apply themselves, or knows how much potential they have, and have felt backed into a corner due to overstimulation or over timing. Like maybe you've spent so much time doing something or got yourself backed up, or I'm hearing backed into a corner a lot. So maybe you're feeling there's like a Page of Wands upright. I think that life is going to give you something very simple to comprehend, to walk towards if you are trying to see your way out of a situation or see your way out of a lifestyle or thought process. I think life is going to provide you with a new hobby, or could be a person. It could be like a environment, or you could need to maybe like go out and do recreational things, not necessarily like parties or whatever, but you could find reasons to go out of your house, go to parks, visiting areas, stuff like that. A need of obsessing over lighter things. I think life will provide you with the ability to favor those things. Like, you might have always felt like you enjoyed like luxury, or maybe you've been on this scale of like you've always liked a certain thing or liked certain things a certain way. I think life is gonna allow you the ability to change that pattern in your mind. Like, you'll be able to dispel this want, or I'm hearing addiction, so hopefully that would be really nice if you're battling something. Maybe you are feeling inclined to finally take it on, or just wherever you felt hopeless. I think life is going to give you a small inkling of like, this thing is simple and easy, so it's like ingestible for you to fantasize about, or feel like you can attain, maybe even feel like you can grow towards it, like walk towards it easily in a proverbial sense, or maybe actually it's just going to seem easy enough for you to take in, even though you feel overwhelmed in a lot of ways. Life is going to provide you that thing, and if you kind of give it a little bit of attention, or water it, communicate with it, feed it, nurture it in certain ways, whether it be like give it some of your time, or study on something, even if like your life is set up to do a bunch of things in certain ways and certain schedules or whatnot, if you give yourself time to do this creative outlet, or if it's a person, if it's going to a certain place that you feel inclined to start attending frequently, there's a need to not fight that urge and go towards it, give it a little bit. And I think over time you will be able to give it whatever is necessity, like whatever is a desirable amount in the end game for you. It's just something that's going to help you shake things up enough for you to shake up your entire life. Like, I think you are trying to see different skies, different atmospheres, but it's a sense of like you are ready to change, and feeling stuck has been the only option for it can be an understandable thing. Like, sometimes the only option we have is to grow in the situations that we're given. But I think you'll be given kind of like I'm hearing an easy way out, but it's gonna probably, you have to keep your eyes open and your awareness about you. It is something that if you give it a little bit of love, it will give you a little bit of love back, and then that will start, it will catalyze a process. Like the Seven of Pentacles in reverse right now, it's something that you might feel so this is the Seven of Pentacles. So I think you have been making plans in the form of fantasies. Like, maybe you feel as though maybe if you fantasize enough, things will start to come towards you. I think that there's a need for you to give a little bit in whatever way you can to this sort of thought, like whether, like, if you need to research the actual field, or if you need to actually go through the motions of looking into doing this process, or whatever it is that you've been kind of like teetering, and you've been turning your what is it, the pistons, I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but I think that you kind of have just been daydreaming about maybe a new life while waiting for your crops to grow. And it kind of is a feeling of like now maybe you're feeling as though you're missing out, or maybe it's all been a fantasy, the Knight of Wands. Yeah, maybe you feel rushed as of lately. Maybe life is about to kind of make things in a sense, like if you, the Knight of Swords, I think maybe you felt rushed in certain ways, because this is the Knight of Wands and then the Knight of Swords. So that's, you probably have an energy of like giving it your best to go and taking what you can from that situation. Like if things don't work out, maybe they shouldn't, or there's just a notion of like reapplying your thoughts to many things. I think life is going to make it obvious maybe what to deplete out of your sources. Like you might have been getting, I'm hearing lifelines, or just maybe like interacting in certain ways with people, or going back on certain things. You're no longer going to have that ability in the near future, and it might be uncomfortable, or it might kind of just be a sense of like, okay, now I'm finally having to do this, so here we go sort of situation at this point. You could have been thinking about it for so long that it's no longer like it's a little surreal feeling. But yeah, the Eight of Wands, I think you're ready to try it out. So life is going to make things a little bit more obvious for you, for sure. I think that you're being favored in a realm of like the more you give and the lighter you pack, or just like if you can make decisions on the go without I'm hearing being emotional, or if you can, like, I think that you might be giving advice to people or on display in some form or fashion. You might have been very nomadic, so there's a sense of like maybe you're stabilizing things in a certain way or restabilizing in a certain way. You need to continue to move forward even through failure or perceived failure, because yeah, I think on another side, this is the Four of Wands. I think if you choose to take on something that feels like a purpose of yours, because this is a soulmate card, but it feels more like you're taking on your soul's purpose and it's meeting you halfway there. Like, I think when you dignify the fact that maybe something is seemingly not obvious, like I think maybe you've had little steps towards things in your life and you kind of have to trust it. It might not be so scientific, or you can't really like bookmark all of the reasons you feel the way that you do towards this certain like learning, or it's just whatever you feel in life that you've kind of been denying but also fantasizing about. I think that when you reach out and touch it, I think that it will kind of do the same thing to you, and you might be like, oh God, it's real. This could be a real thing. So there's a sense of like taking yourself seriously, taking the things around you seriously, maybe realizing the moves you make, the choices you make have reactions, or they have consequences. There's just like, but also doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could be like the things that you do are going to finally start getting reactions. The stuff that you're going to be doing, I think, is going to start being beholded by people. Like I behold with my eyeballs. I think that things are going to be on display for you. Maybe even feeling more amorous towards life, or feeling in love in certain ways. But I think that you're going to be wanting to show off in ways that you hadn't before as well. Like things are going to be feeling more confidence driven. Like this whole process, I feel like you're going to want to show off at the end of, like, through it as well. Like you're going to be feeling confidence and knowing when to like hold back and take those silent victories, but also kind of learning like, oh, I kind of want to flaunt. I kind of want to like put this out there. I want people to see like, this is my soul. This is my like contract that I've taken on in this life, and feeling very proud of forward motion, even if it's not always visible to people. I think that you're going to be making your rights right and feeling very confident about those. There's been so many car alarms this whole time. But, yeah, I think that things are going to be starting to get more fluid and constant for you. I think there's going to be more of a constant feeling, and it'll be comfortable for sure. And you got to know I love you.